Within 6 minutes, I'll be covering all the major changes coming to Super People next week and if you should come back to the game or stay far away. Firearms Expert is getting a potentially game-breaking buff that I will talk about later, along with many character reworks and most of the game's fundamentals being completely changed, hopefully for the better. For starters, everyone will get improved movement across the board, making everyone run faster, do parkour more quickly, and the landing animation will be decreased for all characters, thus making your cheeks get clapped less often with your gun in the ground. Beyond this, everyone will also get the ability to slide, thank the Lord Jesus. The leveling system is going from 27 to 12 at max level, and there will only be gold and white pills on the ground that will be indicated through the walls like you see the crafting materials currently. With this change, that does mean crafting will be removed along with 2 tiers of weapons and 2 tiers of armor, thus removing more RNG from the game given that there'll be less tiers of both. There will also be no specialized weapons in your personal supply, and you will start the match with 3 skills instead of 1, so leveling is going to be a lot faster. But not only will leveling be a lot faster, you will unlock your ultimate at level 4, and your ultimate will have 3 tiers as well, doing more damage and being more useful every single tier. Also, damage numbers seem to be getting reworked in a super controversial way. In the new system, you will now see how much health the enemy has after you shoot them, which could potentially ruin the game and give everyone a shooter's advantage, so we'll see if the community complains and gets that change reverted or not. Also, time to kill will be much more consistent and most damage and defense perks will be removed, allowing most players to do similar damage numbers without much variation like there is currently. Also, solos and trios will become the new official game modes, putting duos on the back burner until we get more players. Trios does play better than 4-man squads, and you can duo in it without much pain. However, hopefully we do get enough players, that way they can run solos, duos, and trios all at the same time. If you're heartbroken about duos leaving, there is a silver lining, and that is games will be played a lot faster given the increased movement and leveling, and also there'll only be 2 game modes to queue in, which means more players will be playing those game modes. I would also like to say that the overall game's UI is getting a massive update that'll make everything a little bit more simple, and we'll have to wait to see how the community responds to that. I would also like to say that the actual lobby sizes will be increasing this update, and the zones will be a little bit smaller to encourage a lot more fighting across the board. Now with the core mechanics out of the way, let's talk about the general improvements coming, and then we'll get into all the juicy class changes and the crazy firearms buff. Ammo and weapons not spawning in when you land has been a problem since the start of Super People. However, the most recent update did improve this, and in the December update, they looked to eliminate the problem almost completely, so that is a huge W. I would also like to say that region lock is currently not enabled, and they are debating on allowing players to select what servers they want, which most players would greatly appreciate. Beyond that, all in-game performance should be improving ever so slightly with this update. And even more importantly, there will be a massive update and improvement across the board with all forms of in-game audio, especially close-range footsteps and also vertical audio, which has been a problem in every BR ever made. I would also like to say there is potentially a hope for proximity chat coming in one of the new updates, because I did talk to the devs a little bit and they do think it's a great idea. They're just debating on if they want to bring it back. Please let them bring it back. It has also been confirmed that the map is going to be getting 3 new POIs, such as a sexy bamboo forest, a dark and spooky minor cave, and a cool lab where you can have some very interesting underground fights. The game will finally be getting emotes added to its cosmetic lineup, special holiday themed skins will also be added to the game, and of course the first ever official battle pass and more unique special skins that you can purchase. Alright, now I'm going to be breaking down all of the important class changes and reworks that you need to know. Also be sure to send this video to a friend who quit Super People or you think should be getting in for this awesome update. All classes now have 12 levels instead of 27, so some of the more useless abilities are now gone. Most characters stayed almost identical to as they were previously, so I'm just going to cover the important ones. Firearms Expert will still have mix and match / lean damage, which could be an issue. However, we don't know what the damage numbers are, and it's possible they lowered him, thus making him a much less scary class. However, he did get a new ability and potentially a crazy buff that when he presses a button, it'll instantly reload all of his teammates' weapons and give them bonus damage on top of that, which potentially could ruin the game again. So I pray everything is balanced with this character, and don't get your pitchforks just yet, because it's possible all the values could be super low and we're just gonna have to wait and see. From there, we're gonna talk about the teleporter and its cool tweaks. His tomahawk will finally not be useless because it'll finally knock enemies back and do a little bit more damage, thus making him suck a whole lot less. Beyond that, he will also be getting spatial awareness that'll make it a lot easier to find targets across the board. Strike Force is also getting a change to his Brave Assault ability that'll now increase the movement of all of his teammates instead of just his damage when moving, which will be cool to test out. Beyond that, Gas Soldier is getting some type of rework to his Toxic Smoke, making it less buggy when it goes through walls and also potentially changing the function of it, but we're gonna have to wait and see on the outcome of that change. Marine will also be the only character in the game with a fast revive, so keep that in mind when this update comes out. Titan will also be getting a change where he will passively be giving his allies extra HP instead of having to activate it like he had previously, thus making him a much more viable support across the board. Demolisher will be getting an update to his UI and firing mechanics, thus making the class suck way less donkey balls and hopefully making him more effective, and they will also be tweaking a siege mode, which is currently completely useless. As you can see, there's some pretty insane changes, and you should definitely come back if you haven't played the game in a while because it's totally different. I will get access to this update before anybody else in the world, and I'll try to make a video before the update even comes out. Comment your thoughts down below and any questions you have.